Today, I've been paid by Sega to prove my abilities to create a successful school and crush my opponents in the field of intellectual battles. But who are my opponents? RT Game, the Drift King of Mario Kart and an unhinged Irishman. Anna Chess, a chess grandmaster with unparalleled strategical skills. And Kevin. I think he plays video games for a living. I must crush them in 4 challenges, but there's a twist. We're rotating our schools between the challenges, meaning they have to deal with whatever nightmare hellscapes I end up creating. Luckily, I've been exploiting and studying humanity for generations now, and if YouTubers are good at one thing, it's scamming teenagers. So by unleashing all of my glorious British powers, I will crush my opposition and create the most perfectly balanced of schools. So let's get ready for the first challenge. Now our challenge is presented by the amazing Lawrence Chaney today, and our first challenge is to build a rock and roll campus, and to quote the logic behind it, here's Lawrence Chaney explaining why.
If it's not fun, no one's going to come.
You see, those are words to live by in life. If it's not fun, no one's gonna... It's okay, this is a game for everyone, ladies and gentlemen. So what's the challenge actually about today?
So in this challenge, you need to create the most rock and roll university.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we've just got to create the most rock and roll university, and that's it. And luckily, I know just where to start. So, welcome to 2 Point Campus, ladies and gentlemen. I got my hands on this game about 2 days ago, and I've already clocked in well over 12 hours, which is safe to say that I've been having a lot of fun with it. Mostly just discovering all of the wonderful exploits that I possibly can that are going to allow me to completely and utterly destroy my friends. Now, today's challenge is on a sandbox map, create the most rock and roll campus. Now, we can pick any of these glorious lovely maps to work on, including the wonderful Spiffing Moor. However, for this challenge of building the most rock and roll campus, I think it's only fair that I show off some of my glorious exploits, and consequently we need to play on the 2 Point University map, for this is the largest of all maps. Next up, I'm sure some of my, more weaker-willed friends have gone for the creative mode, whereby you get a huge amount of money at the start, probably someone like Dan.
Select a mode, we're gonna go with creative.
However, I enjoy a challenge. Consequently, we're going to be starting with only $150,000 and 30 course points. That's right, it's going to be an extreme challenge. So, welcome ladies and gentlemen to our glorious university. This is our giant plot of land to build our university on. It's huge, it's wonderful, and we need to use it to conquer the ultimate challenge. Can we build the most rock and roll campus? Now, in order to build a rock and roll campus, we're going to need a few things. Rocks, rolls, and money. So first we actually need to build ourselves a campus area. That's right, an area where our students can learn and thrive and prosper. And so for that we're going to build a nice large area right over here, taking up this entire corner of the map. Fantastic. This is going to be our glorious campus building. But very importantly, we need to work out what actual course we're going to be offering our students. And there's a huge array of courses we can do. We could go for a very basic general knowledge course that only lasts a year. We could go for a music course. I mean, it makes sense, we're going for a rock and roll kind of class. However, instead, these all are terrible, because what really matters about running a university is scamming children and making money. Does that mean we want to go for the money wangling class and steal from a bunch of Poshos? Does that mean we want to go for the legendary School of Thought, which would allow us to charge the highest tuition fees possible? No, we want the archaeology course, ladies and gentlemen. The archaeology course is the ultimate way to make money, and money is the only thing that matters in this universe. Consequently, we're going to start an archaeology course, wabam. And I'm going to do something very impressive. I'm going to lower the tuition fees to 0. Because remember, if it's not fun, no one will come. And also, we don't need to make money off of their tuition fees. Look, we might be in an incredibly hard challenge here, but I am a skilled pro video gamer. So, what do archaeology students need? Well, firstly, they're going to need somewhere to sleep. Dormitories are amazing because it allows your students to rest up, and most importantly, you get to charge them rent based off of the accommodations rating. This is a fantastic way of scamming more money out of your students. But what every good dormitory needs is a million windows poking to the outside. That way I, the glorious head teacher, is able to monitor my students, for we must make sure that they are in peak performance to make us copious amounts of money. So bam, I've built a huge and glorious dormitory of a very high rating, meaning we're going to be able to charge fantastic massive quantities of rent each year. Now we're ready to build the most important room of all, the dig site. Basically, the dig site allows your archaeology students to find old things in the ground and claim them as your own, regardless of whose original culture had them. It's the quintessentially British building, and we're going to be building a big one, because just by simply reading it, you can discover the true power of the archaeology room. Build a bigger dig site to find more artifacts, which means surely the larger our dig site, the more we're going to find, which is why I'm going to be building the largest dig site in the world. That's right, our dig site is going to take up the entire map, because the more area we have to dig, the more money we're able to make. So we're just going to ever so slightly lag out the game and fill up pretty much the entire map with just a small pathway around it. And we have ourselves a glorious dig site. This is not just any dig site, this is the Moneymaker 9000. This building absolutely destroys the balance in the game, because normally a dig site is meant to be a nice small area where you just dig up a handful of artifacts. But no, by having a dig site be this big, we are going to make stupid amounts of money. Right, perfect. I think I'm actually ready for the new student year to begin. So let's start the year. And here come our first few students. Oh, they're looking fantastic. Our glorious journey into building the greatest rock and roll university is a go. Now, archaeologists are great students to have, because not only do they have the giant wonderful dig site that they're going to print money out of, they can just randomly find artifacts around campus. And artifacts are absurdly overpowered. Like, I've played so much of this game and tried to find the most efficient ways of making money, but no, it is artifacts. They are absolutely stupid. Oh, and speaking of making stupid money, our dormitory here is going to make 50 grand per year, simply because it's a really great accommodation, so they're willing to pay a lot of money. So here we go, our first day in the dig site begins, and the lovely Joanna Odyssey is going to be teaching our students, and whilst this happens, you'll notice the dirt in the ground is going down and down, and the lower we go, the more we're going to discover. But the thing is, it doesn't scale based off of the size of the room. No, it scales based off of the amount of lessons you have, meaning by around about March, this entire area will be fully excavated. This creates a little bit of a problem, because as you can see, our dig site is giant and filled with many rocks. This is the ultimate rock and roll area. Look, there's a rock, there's another one, there's probably a bread roll in here somewhere too. And would you look at that, our first artifact has been discovered. It's a pair of old boots. Now look, a pair of old boots isn't that exciting, but this bad boy is worth $1 grand. $1 grand is insane. That's a huge amount of money. What's that over here? Oh, it's a tin can. Once again, we'll just sell the tin can and we'll sell these old toys. They're just some basic level artifacts. They don't make us the most money, but they're going to do a good job of keeping us afloat until we're actually ready. And now we've actually started finding some of the more wealthy, lovely items, like say a pile of rocks that we can sell, or more importantly, an entire ancient proto-pointodon. This is a giant pair of dinosaur bones, and well, lo and behold, we can sell it for 8,100, or we can just pick it up and put it somewhere in our university. That's right, we can just place it literally down right here, and it's going to increase the quality of our building. But yes, the digging is going very well, especially now that we found the ancient gem. Right, here we go. There's a whole bunch of them around here, but these ancient gems, each of them are worth 40,000, and every single tick that goes past, bearing in mind there's 24 ticks in a year, this goes up by $500 worth of value. So we're going to pick up these ancient gems and we're going to be putting them around our campus, because they're going to be making us a lot of money. These ancient gems, they are really where the money's at. This ancient plunder as well, look at this, 45 grand. And now if we were to actually sell the room, bearing in mind this room is just kind of basic and we haven't even finished it, we can sell this room with all of the artifacts inside of it for $636,000, which is more than most universities make in a single year in this game. But naturally, we're not going to do that. No. I've got better plans, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to wait until this dig site is finished in just a month or two's time. Okay, very soon we're going to be able to sell the entirety of the archaeology room. I mean, we could do it right now. We could basically sell it and then just immediately place it back down, which is probably the most efficient way to do it. Okay, yes, we're going to create the Moneymaker 9000 template. Then we're going to just sell this room for 2.6 million, which is a lot of money. There we go, 2.69 million. And then we can just immediately place it back down again. Wha-bam, it's the Moneymaker. He's back and he's ready to roll, so you can dig some more. Well, it's the end of the first year, so it's time for us to collect our glorious awards. And what did we get? Oh, we got the student choice, the most popular campus according to the students themselves, meaning they had the most fun. And it was campus of the year for just having the most prestigious campus. Oh my goodness, we've done such a great job. Apparently, we're not earning enough money to cover our costs. Based on our current projections, we're forecast to lose $94,000 this year. Oh no, that means we've only got another few hundred years of operational money left. Oh dear. Okay, well, if our goal is to make the most rock and roll campus, then ladies and gentlemen, we need to get rid of the dig site, because let's be real, the dig site, it's not doing us any favors. It's not rock, it's not roll, it's just plain wrong. Consequently, it's time that we deal with all of our students. Now, all of our students are doing great, they're doing fantastic, and we could have them continue a year. However, I don't want another year of archaeology students. No. I want to farm the most profitable student of all time. Consequently, we're going to lower the student intake for next year to 0. We're then going to add a new general knowledge course, lower the tuition fees to 0, and give it a little boost to its applicants. Next up, we're then going to fire all of the archaeology students. That's right, all of them need to go. They're all getting expelled. Alright, so there we go. All of the students have just been expelled. I mean, they're quite sad. Like, they're not happy to be leaving the campus, but you know, like, they've got to go. They're just not rock and roll enough, and I need to exploit more people. So, who cares that a whole bunch of crying and upset individuals are leaving the campus? I suppose with all of the students leaving, I can also just sell this dig site for a huge amount of money, which we will do, and bam, lovely, look at that. The dig site is gone. And so are all of the students, lovely. Every single student is now left, we have no more students, so we don't need to worry about the archaeology course anymore. Bam, perfect. It is just general knowledge. That is all that we care about. General knowledge students are incredibly easy to satisfy. They just need a lecture theatre and a library. That is all the students need. Alright, and next up in our glorious plan to build the most rock and roll area, we need to build a place for the students to hang out. A student union. But not just any student union. The largest student union the world has ever seen. And of course, it wouldn't be a rock and roll campus without the most important thing in the world. A giant stage for live musical performance, complete with dance floor. So let us start our next year. And here come our new students arriving at the greatest location the world has ever seen. My glorious campus. Now, the reason why general studies students are so incredibly profitable is because you, as a lovely person who generates money, gain money based off of the experience that your students get. Basically, when they level up, you get cash. Now, here's the problem. It's a lot easier to get from level 1 to 2 than it is from 10 to, say, 11. But seeing as, say, a normal student is here for 3 years, that's a problem because generally your third year students are already very high level and so aren't making you much money. However, for a general knowledge student, they are only with you for 1 single year. You know what, I've just been thinking, we've scammed a massive amount of students, but it has also reminded me that when I went to university, I also scammed my university a bunch. There's so many things you could do to get around university rules and regulations, and also just using a whole bunch of the advantages of being a student. For example, in the UK, you get a massive amount of bonuses for being a student. A lot of places will give you just flat 20 to maybe 50% discounts on things like food, clothes, you name it, but the downside is you have to go to a university for that, and a university costs a lot of money per year, especially in our country. But there's a workaround. Certain colleges or universities run courses that don't cost normal tuition fees, and if you sign up to those courses right before they start just to fill empty spaces, some of those courses might only cost around £19. And when you sign up for those courses, you don't have to turn up to them, but you do get registered as being a student. Don't turn up, don't take any of the exams, become a student today, get your student card for just £19, and then for the next 3 years of your life, enjoy free public transport in many major UK cities. It's perfectly balanced. Now, I'm sure many of you have your own exploits of how you exploited university, or how you just got exploited by your university. So go into the comment section below and tell me of your glorious situations, for you might inspire the next generation of exploiters.
Day 2.
Because this is Spiff's college as well, we need to make it somehow balanced. Hang on, like, Spiff, what are you doing here? It's a big dance floor, okay. Why is there no He's closed it all off. For some reason, Spiff has made it a barren wasteland.
Right, and we're on to the next challenge. And this time, it's themed around me. Here we go. Ah, yes. The wonderful, beautiful tea garden. Ah, it's fantastic. And of course, when enjoying tea, why not use the perfectly balanced mug? That's right, I'm literally being sponsored, and they're using my own merch. It's like they paid me. So what is today's challenge?
This challenge is about creating a natural oasis
a
of
natural
calm,
oasis of
relaxation, and all that
lovely.
peaceful.
A hippy
There's
dippy
more
student
flora
utopia.
than fallen
Perfect, I
roots.
can do that.
The number 1 rule: whatever you build, you must always have more gardens than classrooms. Flower it up and get zen.
So, welcome ladies and gentlemen to our glorious second challenge in today's video. We must build a campus with as many gardens as possible. We must build the ultimate zen tea room of a university. But of course, the previous twist maintained, because we're not working on our previous plot of land. No, we've received Anna Chess's plot of land, which I of course presume will be immensely efficient, gloriously strategic, and surprisingly it hasn't made much money. In fact, it's only making 300,000 a year. That's not very good. And what is this? I mean, sure, it fits the music bill. A room filled with bins? What is this room? Oh, it's the student lounge. I see, complete with more bins than anyone knows what to do with. And what is this? A coffee kiosk? No. Right, they're gone. Immediately gone. Pathetic, terrible buildings. Okay, so we've got our goal. We have to build the ultimate lovely zen garden of a campus, but we've inherited what can only be described as a nightmarish mess. So, let's fix up this. For a start, we've got a bunch of musical students, and I've got to be honest, I don't want to deal with them. We can't make any money off of them, so we've gotten rid of all of the intake, and instead, our new course is going to be money wangling, for we're going to fill our campus up with Poshos. Poshos are absolutely fantastic, and I'll even lower the tuition fees so that it's cheaper for them to be here, for the sole reason that we'll get more students. Now, Poshos are the perfect student to have, for those lovely majestic buggers generate money when they're happy, and if we fill our campus with lovely gardens, then they're going to be very happy indeed. But we're also going to clean up the mess of a campus by selling all of the music areas, because quite simply, we don't need them. We will of course keep the greatest student lounge the world has ever seen. So now that our university is filled with the crying faces of the dismissed, I think we are potentially ready to start preparing for, oh my goodness, they are all throwing fits. They are not happy at all. They don't want to leave, but come on, get out of my university, you cheeky sausages. Alright, and I think we're actually ready to start our next year. Here we go, wabam. The new academic year begins and the money wanglers are going to arrive. And wabam, look at this. Here are the lovely wave of incredibly posh British bastards marching their way to our university. These are the people who will make us money. So what is a posho? A posho is a fantastic individual who throws money at the things they like. They may even make a donation if they're doing well. This is what makes the posho one of the best students you can ask for they will just occasionally and randomly generate money for you, which is of course absolutely fantastically useful. Now, we are generally losing money on a month-to-month basis, largely due to the unique nature that this campus operates on, but hopefully that will change given time. Oh, and fantastic. All of these students just leveled up, and because they leveled up, they gave us all $200. This is fantastic. These students are glorious and brilliant. And so in order to get more money off of them, we want them to level up as much as possible. So what's the best way to get them to level up? Well, it's just to efficiently train them and make them happy. But also, the Poshos pay us whenever we actually fulfill one of their dreams. And so many of the Poshos have a dream, which is to look at this poster here, which is a family tree, so that they can look at their family. And just by simply looking at this poster, it is going to inspire them to give us $500. Every time we make them happy, they give us money. It is perfect. Who knew fulfilling the dreams of rich people is all that mattered? Now, one thing I also decided we should do to fulfill many of our student wants is to add a club, and we're going to go for the book club. The book club is great because it encourages and boosts the learning rate and reading rate of our Poshos, and every time they level up, they give us money. So by leveling them up more, the more money we make, the happier they are. So we shall turn all of the Poshos into money-giving nerds. And fantastic, it's the end of our first year at this university. How have we done? Ah, lovely, we've got the Campus of the Year Award, the Student Choice Award, and the Rising Staff Award. Lovely stuff. This will head us into the next year in fantastic style and pace. As part of this moving into the next year, I'm going to actually improve our library by extending it. Yes, that's right, we're going to maximize our library space, and we're going to boost the learning prowess of our students by building a giant library reception. That's right, it's huge, but it boosts their learning power by 8%. Then we'll build the money wangling bookcase for getting rich quick. This alone will boost the learning power by 5%. Then we'll need an additional computer lab, which luckily we can just wham down here. Fantastic, we're doing great. And of course, many of our lovely Poshos would like a new flower planter to be added. So yes, I will place in our glorious flower planter over in my new garden that I've created. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. A brand new academic year has just started, and that means chaos has ensued because you'll notice we've not just got Poshos anymore. No, I've realized we could scam students even harder by actually inviting the music students to join. However, we charge them maximum quantities for their tuition, and you'll notice we have not got a campus recording studio or a music teacher. This is a problem. Basically, they're not able to go to any lessons because, well, there aren't any lessons for them to have. But their happiness is completely maxed out, for we have a very happy, fun campus. I mean, look at all of the beautiful greenery. And because they're happy, even though they're not even able to go to lessons, they're still paying tuition fees. And those tuition fees are making us a lot of money. And because they're happy, they won't even leave the school. This is perfectly balanced. Also, I've just realized how strong the bookworm club is. Our lovely safe friend here, Cordelia, he's a level 3 in the book club, and well, his learning rate is 212%. That's right, he learns 212% faster than everyone else. This person's learning rate, 221%. They're absolutely insane. Meanwhile, music student here, 66%. Pathetic. Not even part of the book club. But actually, I've realized something. These music students, they're actually getting in the way. They're going to clog up the entrances to the libraries, and so we need a way of subverting their locations and forcing them into an area where the music students belong, basically out of the way of the rich people. Consequently, maybe we should build a recording studio, and I've got just the plan for it. For you see, the goal of today's challenge was to build the most zen university possible. So what better way to do it than force anyone going to this lesson to go through a giant hedge maze? So that is exactly what we will do. And if you see, look, the music students are already making their way over here to the class, despite the fact that there's not even a teacher. So first, let us build our hedge maze. Okay, welcome back. I have now crafted the maze which all students must go through. This is the pathway to their one lesson, and hopefully it should take them several months to reach the end. And yes, I realize they got a head start just to reach all the way to the music room, which doesn't even have a teacher, so they basically just have to stand here and wait. But hey, that's fine. They've got their class. The other students will be along any year now. Good on you guys. Good on you. You'll get there in no time. So this is one of the lovely gifts I'm departing to RT, who has to deal with my world. But the next gift, seeing how much he struggled with me walling off the entrances to the map, I would like to say that I actually did that really nicely, because since that point, I've discovered a few more exploits. For example, you can't place an object on an existing object. If I place a bin, I can't put a bin on top of another bin. The laws of physics simply don't let me. But this goes completely out of the window when it comes to walls. For you see, I can place a wall and then put another wall on top of it. The issue with this is that I own an auto clicker and I can set Dan a challenge. Dan's one job is to delete this, and I'm going to make this a mind-bending horrible challenge by placing down a lot. There's going to be a lot of brick walls, and he has to delete them. That's all you have to do, Dan. Just delete this. It's easy. You just click on it and press sell. You see, what's better than making the students suffer, but making my own friends suffer? These are the things that make me happiest in life. Alright, I've run the math, and there should be well over 500 of these walls now, so all he has to do is click and sell all 500 of them, and then he should be set. Perfect. Oh, it's going incredibly well with our students. They go to their class just in time to see that no tutor has arrived, and then they immediately turn around and leave, but it doesn't matter because an entire month passes and they still pay for their tuition fees. This is perfect. It's fantastic. It makes us money. Now, another great way of gaining student satisfaction and making sure that they're happy is to actually fulfill their needs. For example, these guys want a horror film to be played, and so we're playing a horror film. And then this person wants a coffee kiosk. I'm sorry, filthy American, you want a coffee kiosk? You horrible, horrible classical American. Right, I've had enough of you. You're fired. That's what you get for demanding coffee on my campus. Meanwhile, look at all of these posh people enjoying the Zen garden. Oh, they're having a grand old time here. They just love a good flower patch, and they love to pay us for seeing that flower patch. Yes, you observe it, and then you give me $500. That is how the world works. Look at flower patch, give money. Ah, it's the end of the year once more. Let us see what glorious awards we've got. Yes, 72% pass rate. That's fine, because we failed a bunch of students. Look at this. Some rewards, some great environmental attractiveness, and oh, look at this. Student Choice Award and Campus of the Year. We got Student Choice Award, despite the fact that half of our students signed up for a course that didn't exist, and they all failed. Classic. Well, goodbye, pathetic students that failed. We have no place for you here. No, this is the land of the rich. Look at the merry rich people that graduated. Look at how happy they are. I actually think this is a fantastic point to stop. We've built a giant horrific hedge maze, we've set up an impossible challenge for RT, and we've built one of the greatest scams the world has ever seen. Anyway, this is it for our first 2 challenges. We've absolutely crushed it. We've built a glorious giant park that takes up half of our campus. We have classrooms that don't get used because 50% of the students aren't allowed into them. But most importantly, all of our students are happy and living a carefree life where it doesn't matter if they hardly turn up to class because their rate of learning is so high that just by simply glancing at a single textbook is enough to immediately make them get an A star. Anyway, if you want to pick up 2 Point Hospital, it comes out in early August. And this is just the first video. There is a sequel where we must complete 2 more challenges of even greater power and toughness. And of course, all of our creations must then be passed on to Dan, which is the most important part of the challenge. Watching Dan suffer. Oh, it's what I live for. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. A huge thank you to you glorious subscribers. All of you who like the video, you know who you are, you majestic sausages. And if you sat there wondering what to watch next, look no further than this video on screen now, hand chosen by myself to be perfect for you. Anyway, I'll see each and every one of you in the next one. Have a lovely day, and goodbye for now.